Alrighty. YieldMax and RoundHill have announced their monthly distribution for the week, um, March the 14th, this Friday. Now we have some others that got paid, will be getting paid on tomorrow and different dates, and we'll go cover that. So most of you probably already know the distribution amount. These are the distribution percentages, the yields, but I'm going to go over basically if you own a certain number of shares, what you should expect to get about paid out, not exactly, because I do round some of these up to keep them under 4 digits. All right, so let's get started. We got MSTY, ULTY, YMAX, XPAY, XDTE, QDTE, SMCY, YMAX, AIYY, LFGY, YBTC, and RDTE, and others. So let's go. All right, so these prices are going to vary each month. If you should happen to own some of the above ETF, here is a roundabout payout you should receive. Now below is what you would get by owning the number of shares multiplied by the price per share. Let's see what we got first up here. We got YQQQ from YieldMax. Previously paid out $42.98. Currently paying out a nice increase of $44.83. So if you happen to own 50 shares, that'd be $22.42. 1,000 shares would be $448.30, and 10,000 would be $4,483. Next, we got AMZY by YieldMax. Previously paid out 54.8. It's currently paying out 41.77. So if you own 100 shares, that would be 41.77. If you own 2,000 shares, that would be $835.40. And 10,000 shares would give you $4,177. Next up is YieldMax APLY, APLY. Previously paid out 16.67. Currently will be paying out 34.40. If you own 50 shares, that would be $17.20. 1,000 shares would be $344, and 10,000 shares would be $3,440. Next, we got SMCY by YieldMax. Previously paid out $2.09. Currently will be paying out $197.42. All right, so if you own 50 shares, that would be, this is a small decrease, but still nice, $197. If you own 50 shares, that would be $98.71. Now this in the blue is what I currently own. That's the number of shares I currently own. So I own 150. I will be getting paid $296.13. If you happen to own 2,000 shares, that would be $3,948.40. And if you own 10,000 shares, that would be a whopping $19,742. Nice. Next, we got AIYY. Previously paid out 37.1. It's currently will be paying out 32.21. I happen to own 13 shares, so I will be getting paid $4.19. All right. So if you own 500 shares, that'd be $161.05. 2,000 shares would be $644.20, and 5,000 shares would be $1,610.50. Next, we got MSTY. MSTY used to be one of the top dogs, and it's still around the top. All right. Previously paid out $2.02 and 16. Currently paying out $137.75. That's a nice, well, ain't nice, but it's a huge reduction. But still, 137 is still nice. All right, so this will be paying out this Friday. All right. So if you happen to own 50 shares of this, that would be $68.88. If you happen to own 500 shares, that would be $688.75. And if you happen to own 1,000 shares, which is what I currently own, I will be getting paid $1,377.50. And if you happen to own 10,000 shares, that would be a whopping $13,775. Next, we got from YieldMax, SQY will be getting paid out this Friday. Previously paid out 584. Currently will be paying out 5014. So if you own 100 shares of this, that would be $50.14. If you own 2,000 shares, it would be $1,002.80. 10,000 shares would yield you a nice $5,014. Next of YieldMax, we got DISO paying out this Friday. Previously paid out $45.74. Currently will be paying out $28.79. 100 shares would yield you $28.79. 2,000 shares would yield you $575.80. And 10,000 shares would get you $2,879. Next, we got our weekly ETFs coming up here with YieldMax. All right, so they'll be paid out this Friday as well. All right, previously paid out $24.05. Currently, we'll be paying out $10.02. It's a huge reduction. All right, so I happen to own 50 shares. I will be getting paid $5.01. All right, so if you own 500 shares, that'd be $50.10. 2,000 shares, $200.40, and 10,000 shares would yield you $1,002. Our next weekly pay is YMAX from YieldMax. Previously paid out $15.14. Currently, we'll be paying out $14.45. So if you own 50 shares, that'd be $7.23. 1,000 shares would yield you $144.50. And 5,000 shares would be $722.50. All right. Our next weekly ETF from YieldMax is LFGY. Previously paid out $46.37. Currently, we'll be paying out for this Friday $41.73. So if you own 100 shares, that'd be $41.73. 2,000 shares would yield you $834.10. And 10,000 shares of this would get you $4,173. Next of YieldMax is GPTY, paying out this Friday as well. Previously paid out $30.97. Currently will be paying out this Friday $28.23, a small reduction. 100 shares will get you $28.23. 5,000 shares will get you $1,431.50. 10,000 shares will get you $2,863. Next of YieldMax weekly ETF, we got SDTY. Previously paid out $17.09. Currently, we'll be paying out a nice increase of $21.74. So 50 shares would yield you $10.87. 500 shares would yield you $108.70. And 5,000 shares would get you $1,087. Next, we got QDTE of YieldMax. Previously paid out $158. Currently, we'll be paying out $24.60. So 50 shares of this will get you $12.30. 1,000 shares will get you $246. And 10,000 shares will get you $2,460. Next, we got RDTE, weekly ETF of YieldMax. Has not paid out a distribution yet, but it will be a weekly ETF. All right, let's move right along. Next, we got ULTY. ULTY has become a weekly ETF. It was previously a monthly paying ETF, and it was with Group C, I believe, with Coney, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So now it is a weekly paying ETF. It will be paying this Friday. previously paid out $46.53. It will be paying out this coming Friday, 10/25. So if you own 50 shares, that would be $5.13. If you happen to own 400 shares like I do, that would be $41. 2,000 shares would get you $205, and 10,000 shares would yield you $1,025. All right, next we have our RoundHill. XPAY is the weekly paying ETF, which will be paid out on Thursday. You have to own this by Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so previously paid out, I left my period out right there. Previously paid out $95.28.45, and this is a fixed payout. So every month it will pay out at least 95 cents. If it collects more in the premium, it will pay it out. I believe the highest I've seen was 97 cents. So if you're looking for a high yielding ETF that has a fixed amount that you know exactly what you're going to get, XPAY, and it has certain tax benefits. All right, so I happen to own 10 shares of this, so I'm going to get $9.53. 500 shares will yield you $476.42, and 10,000 shares will be $9,528.45. Next, on our RoundHill, we have QDTE, weekly paying ETF. Previously paid $25.95.6, currently paying $233.161. 50 shares of this will yield you $11.66. 500 shares will be $116.58. 2,000 shares, $466.32, and 10,000 shares will yield you $2,331.61. Next, we got RDTE, RoundHill, paying out this Friday. Previously paid out $19,347. Currently will be paying out $309.46. 100 shares of this will yield you $30.10. 2,000 shares will be $601.89, and 10,000 shares would yield you $3,009.46. All right, next we got XDTE, weekly paying ETF for RoundHill. Previously paid out $203.24. Currently will be paying out $243.703. 500 shares of this would yield you $121.85. 2,000 shares would be $487.41, and 10,000 shares would be $2,437.03. All right. Last but not least is not YBIT, but YBTC. Weekly paying ETF will be paying out this Friday. Previously paid out $244.22. Currently will be paying out $324.301. I happen to own 50.31 shares, so I will be getting paid out $16.32. 500 shares of this would yield you $162.15. 2,000 shares would yield you $648.60. And 10,000 shares of this would yield you $3,243.01. All right, so that's going to conclude our weekly distribution from YieldMax and RoundHill for this week. Next week, we'll be looking at Group A for YieldMax, and likewise for RoundHill. I don't think they have them grouped as A, B, C, D. Alrighty, so this is YieldMaxMindset. I hope you like this PowerPoint that I presented. Please like and comment. I love your comments. I love getting the feedback. Let's do it. Let's get it. Game. And stay positive even though the market is down. Stay grinding and take advantage of these discounts and buy if you like what you're getting. All right, I am out. Have a great one. YieldMaxMindset.